If you've been thinking of buying some $40, $50 cheap backlinks off Fiverr, Legit, something like that, then you might want to think again, because a lot of these links are actually hacked. Now, this is the kind of subject that I don't really want to talk about publicly because I've got contacts in the industry and I don't want to ruffle feathers, lest people actually come after me. So I'm going to be revealing deeper details of this exclusively in my SEO Jesus Ranking Revelations newsletter. But in this video, I'm just going to give you an overview of how this industry works and what you should really look out for. Now, I give a lot of advanced tactics away for free on my YouTube channel, but I can't give you the real gold because if I did, then it simply wouldn't work anymore. If I just spread this out across YouTube, everyone sees it, it gets really competitive, and also Google might actually start shutting down some of those tactics. However, I am very happy to share these secrets within my private free email newsletter. So to make sure you don't miss out on any more gems like this, I don't repeat these, they are only one-offs in the email list, simply because I want them to keep working and to preserve them, so they are one-off exclusives to subscribers. So to make sure you don't miss out again, what I need you to do is go to seojesus.com. So you can simply Google SEO Jesus, go to the .com, and then there should be a big button there for my Ranking Revelations newsletter. And then when I do have new, real gold to share, you will be notified. It's much easier to send an email out than do a whole YouTube video like this. And like I say, I can have that extra level of openness and vulnerability that I can't quite share publicly on YouTube. Plus, if you are interested in seriously scaling your rankings with a guaranteed done-for-you service, then feel free to simply respond to that confirmation email, and then we can set up a call, we can discuss your requirements further. Just please make sure to include your budget, goals, and your website so I can actually take a look. I talk a lot about how a lot of gurus in the SEO space will overcomplicate the process of link building. Link building is essential. If you don't do it, you are going to, over time, face steep competition and eventually get outranked. I really wish I'd been more proactive with link building much earlier on in my SEO career. At first, I hesitated, thinking I'm going to build the wrong links, get penalized, or I don't have the money to build links, but actually what's the true cost in terms of the opportunity cost? If I build some links, make a lot more money from ranking much higher, then I can just keep on building links and totally dominate my niche. So I'm generally quite open about the fact that you're really better off doing link building within certain parameters rather than not doing link building. And I generally say 90% of SEO is just content and links, and you don't really want to overcomplicate that too much. The price of inaction in this regard is probably greater than the cost of action and simply getting on and doing it, even if you only get it 80, 90% right the first time. That does come with a caveat though, because obviously there's plenty of options out there for buying cheap backlinks. Now, if you go with an agency, you're typically going to be paying $200 to $300 per link approximately. And that can be quite off-putting, especially if you're just starting out with maybe an affiliate blog, something like that. If you're only getting small Amazon commissions, then it's going to be very difficult to actually pay for those kinds of links. So it's very tempting to go down the path of cheap backlinks, going onto marketplaces like Fiverr, Legit, and some of these links will genuinely work. The issue is you don't really know what you're getting. If you're getting cheap links for $40, $50, or even hundreds of links for $100. I've had potential clients reach out and say, I've already got someone doing me 100 backlinks a month for $99. And I'm saying, trust me, you don't want those links. Getting a few really good links is going to be better than hundreds of spammy links. Now, there are two types of cheap links you really need to watch out for. Maybe actually three. One are PBNs, so private blog networks are basically where you rebuild old domains that have a bit of power and then sell links on them. And they can work if you use them correctly. But the chances are if someone's selling insertions on their PBNs on Fiverr, then it's probably going to go quite badly. They're not doing it the right way. Private blog networks should be private for a reason. Then we have something called niche edits. Now, niche edits have become a general term for any sort of link insertion, where you reach out to a webmaster, and rather than writing them a full guest post, you just say, here's a 5-minute job for you. Can you just insert this link with this anchor text on your page? And that's really good. That's actually something we include in the agency. The issue is that niche edits traditionally, the actual origin of the word comes from hacked links. So there are networks out there, basically networks of hackers, where you can get these links inserted on all kinds of websites for literally a couple of dollars. Now that's already problem number one when you've got someone who's, say, hacked a WordPress plugin and now they're selling links so that if you're, say, a casino or an adult website, you can simply go in and get links inserted on a mum blog. That's already highly problematic. But then you have another layer of complication when people actually start selling these links. And that's a lot of the links you'll see on places like Fiverr and Legit. So just from a value perspective, you're probably paying a very high amount for a very low quality link that's just been hacked, and it's therefore probably going to get taken down as well. You then have the ethical considerations. And I've even seen big agencies actually using these kinds of tactics where they're buying from one seller thinking they're getting a good deal, but they've got no idea that there's actually layers upon layers of resellers. And ultimately, at the top of the tree, it's actually a hacker providing the sort of true sort of wholesale link, if you like. Now, if we just search niche edit on a popular platform like Legit, it's kind of like a Fiverr, but for SEO services, we can go through and we can see loads of options for around $40. Now, I've honestly got no idea which of these are legit and which are not. But I do know from actually running an outreach link building agency that by the time you actually talk to the webmaster, that webmaster isn't going to insert your link for free if it's a good quality website. Because why would they? If it's a good website that's making money, why should they take time out of their day to serve you? And maybe you've got certain requirements. They've always got to hedge against the fact you might be actually a difficult customer. I know that myself from days in running big websites, and sometimes get offered a guest post, and there's a lot of back and forth where it's saying, actually, we want this, we want that. And you're thinking, dude, you're only paying me like $30 or whatever for this. So therefore, webmasters are getting more and more stringent in terms of accepting link insertions, and therefore what you can actually expect to pay for those. Then you have the costs of actually doing that outreach. So you need tools like Hunter, outreach software, email warm-up, and actually training a team to go through the necessary steps to make sure you're building a link on a good quality website. By the time you factor all that in, you've got quite an expensive link. So I know it might be off-putting when agencies are charging $200, $300, $400 per link. The reality is it's very difficult to actually do that for less. When I started out my agency, I was doing links really cheaply, just planning to undercut the competition, thinking, why are they charging so much? 6 months later, I realized why they were charging so much. It was just impossible. It was unsustainable. And so I just had to raise prices. Still a lot less than a lot of agencies out there, but still having to actually make the money it was costing to fulfill these orders. Part of this is our high requirements, where we look for links that are really going to move the needle. So minimum DR of 30 and minimum traffic of 1,000. If it doesn't have those, we don't build that link, because we want the real links that are actually going to move the needle. So a lot of these cheap links, I bet a lot of these won't actually be hacked. I fully expect that. But at the same time, if they're that cheap, there's no guarantee they're not part of some sort of PBN network, so a seller's own private list of websites that they use just for selling links like this, or just generally on low quality websites. If you drop those requirements of DR30, traffic 1,000, then suddenly you open up a whole world of websites that aren't actually getting that much traction from Google. So yes, you absolutely can buy those cheap links, but first of all, I don't know which ones are the hacked links and which ones are genuine. And if you do get the genuine ones for $40, then I don't think they're actually going to move the needle at all if they're not hitting those requirements. Because right now, I can buy a domain that's expired for $150, that's maybe a DR 10, 15, something like that, put some basic content on it, and start ranking for a few keywords, but not actually get any serious traffic for commercial keywords. So is Google actually going to give you much credit for that link? I highly doubt it. The way most SEOs will actually use these links is for what's called tiered link building, where you actually have an inner ring of really good high quality placements. So the kinds of links I build, those are the ones that point at your website. But those pages can actually be quite weak. Even if I'm on a powerful website, that actual page might not have that much power. But you can then go and build really cheap links to that page, and then that link gets much more powerful. But Google can't see that these dodgy links are going to you rather to this inner circle. So you want that sort of white hat inner ring, and then those you can basically hit with everything. So you can use tools like Money Robot and also cheap links like these, because if you get it wrong, and this is assuming you're willing to take the risk that some of them might be hacked links, but in terms of Google's eyes, Google can't see that you're the operator here. So if there is any penalty, it's going to be to the linking website, not to your website. That sounds a bit dark, but in reality, Google's not going to be able to penalize everyone. Sites get links all the time. So I wouldn't recommend building those cheap links to your own money website, because that's very dangerous. There's a clear pattern there if you're getting links just from those kinds of websites. But a big website that's got your guest post on it, and that gets a few dodgy looking links, then you're going to get some power from it, but you're not actually going to carry any of that risk. But it all starts out with having that good, strong white hat foundation of good quality links pointing at your website. So that's the service we provide in-house, and that's through genuine outreach for the right price, not cutting corners and hacking links. The real danger, like I say, is those agencies out there that are reselling these links from a list and they've got no idea who they're actually buying from at the top of the tree. That's very dark. In my newsletter, I'll tell you more of that, but I don't want to make any enemies online, so I'm not going to go too much detail in public. So if you want to hear more about that and what to avoid, then make sure you sign up to my SEO Jesus Ranking Revelations newsletter.